Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I'm your host, HerobrineWarns, and this is part of my Game of the Year award. So what I do is every year is I pick what are the best games I played and worst games I played, and I pick a winner out of all of them. This year I thought I'd actually record it and share that whole process with all of you. So this year we have a massive lineup of over 30 games. And I figured, it'd be fun to actually pick a biggest loser out of them. So here I have 5 games that I considered the worst or worse than the other ones on the list. And I'm going to go through all 5, and at the end, the final game will be the biggest loser, in my opinion, of 2024. Now, these are not new games. These are just new games to me that I played this year. Without further ado, let's get into 2024's biggest losers. Number 5, Golden Souls Remastered. This game was actually not too bad. I found it enjoyable, but I was kind of mad at the ending section. Because after you beat, the main boss, it says there's more secrets to unlock, and then 2 secret levels open up, and you get nothing for beating those, and that's kind of annoyed me. But, in all honesty, aside from that, this game isn't bad. It's an actually rather impressive mod, especially when you know that one guy worked on this, which was... his name's Andre, at least that's what his YouTube channel says. I forget how you pronounce his actual username. It's like Branty or something like that. But it's really impressive because he added a whole bunch of Mario levels into Doom. And it actually does feel like, to a certain degree, you're in Mario. I mean, you remember you're Doom because of all the guns and demons, but the world spaces, the music really sell the Mario feel. And to be honest, this is mostly just here because the ending kind of sank it for me. And because I needed 5 things for the loser category. So, no, of the losers, I can already tell you, this belongs here the least. I had some opinions that were a little stronger than putting it in the meh category. But it's definitely worth trying out. It's a very fun mod. Number 4. Mortal Kombat 11. This game, there's a reason I'm doing the photo and not the gameplay like the rest of them. And that's because this game is actually awful. The issue I have with it is that it is just a microtransaction hell. I bought the Ultimate Edition of this game, and I still didn't get all the characters. Some of them were still locked behind microtransactions. And that's all this game is. It's just Mortal Kombat 10 again, but with microtransactions. And to me, it wasn't even worth playing. I uninstalled it. It's even larger than 10 too. Even though you have to pay for optional add-ons, it's all downloaded. So it's still 40 gigabytes more than the MK10, and you don't even get everything, unlike the Ultimate Edition from Mortal Kombat 10. So yeah, this game, Mortal Kombat 11, that was terrible, and I hope Mortal Kombat 1 isn't like this, though I got a feeling they did it again. But I haven't played it, so I can't say. But yeah, this game doesn't deserve to even get its, doesn't even deserve to get gameplay shown. It frustrated me. Enjoy the photo. We'll move on to the next title. Number 3. Postmortem. Okay, before we start, heads up. This game is very story heavy and there's spoilers everywhere. So if you don't want to know spoilers, click off now. With that said, let's go. So Postmortem is about a American detective living in France investigating the murder of 2 other Americans who were found decapitated in their hotel bedroom. He's hired by a sister to one of the murder victims to see what happened or to investigate the crime. So over the course of the game, he will go about investigating and interviewing various people and collecting evidence, trying to figure out what exactly the murder was about and what was the killer after. This game is very buggy to run. Even the GOG version, or Good Old Games version. This game, like, crashes if you tab out. It's very janky. What you're supposed to say or do is not obvious. I should note it's from, like, the early 2000s. Like, I think, like, 2002 or 3. So, some of the jankiness is understandable, but the reason it's in the loser category and not just the meh category is because despite the story, it gets very rushed at the ending. I mean, so what you learn is, okay, we're going to go into spoilers here. What you're going to learn at the ending is the couple weren't who they said they were. They were actually they were actually thieves. They would break into, like, tombs and different cults and steal their ancient artifacts. And they were murdered because they took a head of some dead guy that was supposedly possessed some power, and the guy who kills him believes in this great power so that the head possesses. And the lady who hired you was actually the accomplice to these thieves. Now, that's all good, but then you get to kind of the ending where you confront the main guy who committed the murders, and you're like, look, the head's a fake. It never had any power, and your character smashes it on the floor and gets the two people arrested. However, then it cuts later to another head being handed off to another person you met earlier in the story, and it kind of implies the head actually did have power, but we never see the head do this magical thing it supposedly possesses. So it's just kind of weird how, like, so did it have magical powers in the end? Is it just because these people believe it did and he's trying to make a quick buck off it? It's really not clear what exactly was happening in this plot. So it's just, and then again, just on top of that, you have to sit through so many bugs, crashes. It's just not worth your trouble. Like, I in the end ended up having to, like, finish it on YouTube because I had so many bugs and crashes that I couldn't play the game. So yeah, it's alright. It just really fell apart at the end, and because it's so buggy, it really wasn't worth the trouble of trying to get running. Number 2. Battle versus Chess. I returned this game. I was told this was, like, the superior version to Battle Chess, Game of Kings, which admittedly is super broken and nobody should buy it on Steam. Unlike me, who was stupid and bought it. But when it does work, it's fun. This game is just painfully slow, and admittedly I slowed down the footage from where I got this from because this is closer to what it looked like actually playing it. I don't know why the guy playing this had faster speeds, because I did turn my game speeds up and it still just crawled like this. So it could be a problem with my PC. I doubt it, because the game's from 2005 and I'm running this on a i7-12700F or KF. But point is that this game is slow. It is very boring. I'm also irritated because as somebody who plays chess, I was hoping I found, like, a new fun chess game to play, and no, instead it's just super boring. It's just slow. The animations are okay, but the novelty wears off really fast when you have to suffer through how slow this game is. So overall, yeah, this is going in the loser category. Again, I returned this. I didn't even keep this game. I went, get it off. I don't even want it tied to my Steam account. Get rid of it. Oh, one other note. The reason we're using Minecraft music is quite literally, there is no music during the battles either while you're playing the chess. Hope you enjoy the grueling ambience of empty castle and somehow very quiet volcano. Because that's it. That's all you get with this game. So yeah, we're using Minecraft music because I'm not letting you guys suffer the quietness I had to while playing this. Number 1. Necronomicon, The Dawn of Darkness, inspired by the work of H.P. Lovecraft. Now, I'm gonna spoil the hell out of this game, but this thing deserves it. This is the biggest loser of 2024 for me. What happened? Well, the game starts really strong. Your best friend comes over and gives you a mysterious item, and he tells you, don't give this to anybody, not even me if I come back and ask for it, which is already odd. But then after your friend leaves, his dad comes over and says, hey, my son's not been quite right in the head. Could you go visit him? He lives on the outskirts of town, and check in on him, see kind of what's wrong with him. So you do. You head out, you check on him, and it begins a series of events where you find out he's been dabbling in cult-like activity. So he's been trying to deal with, like, I forget what he's trying to summon something. The game doesn't exactly explain what he's trying to do. It's old and cultish. There was an adventurer many years ago, back in like the 1700s, who founded this town, and he was the same. He actually is what kicked off this whole cult-like activity. He believed there was something in this town that would cause all sorts of, like, evil, or it's not fully explained. They literally just call it the event of the gods or something, just the work of the gods, but they don't really tell you exactly what it does. They're trying to keep that H.P. Lovecraft mystery aspect alive. However, they completely forget kind of the idea behind H.P. Lovecraft's work, and that was the idea of cosmic horror, or that there's entities beyond our comprehension. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of this has a ton of religious and pagan iconography. For example, you'll see things like, oh, this is a pendant of Jupiter, or, oh, that most of the evil stuff in this game involves pentagrams and demon summoning. In fact, the one real monster you see in the game is quite literally a demon you summoned with a pentagram ritual. And the thing is that I got upset about it is that H.P. Lovecraft kind of wanted to approach things of, like, what if there was something kind of greater beyond our recollection? You know, what is it if there's entities that are so grand, so big and beyond mankind that, like, they don't even care about who we are, that we exist, because they're just so far above beyond that. Well, the thing is that we all understand pentagrams. It's just, you know, it's satanic rituals. If you study pagan iconography, you know what Jupiter is, you know what Saturn is, you know these gods of old. They're all, you know, at the end of the day, creations of, like, mankind. You know, they're things us humans use to explain gods and stuff. They're not beyond us, and it kind of shoots itself in the foot. Also, even more annoying, when you get to Disc 2, which is the second half of the game. Now, if you buy this on GOG, you won't know this, but if you had this game on DVD back in the day, or CD, I should say, you had to actually switch out for a second disc because the game could not fit on the one disc. So, the thing is, when you switch that second disc, that's about where everybody says the plot went downhill, and it shows. So, you go to this underground cavern. You have to summon that demon thing using a pentagram ritual. Also, there's this weird puzzle where you're in the dark and you have to solve it. It's okay, but once you figure out the mechanic, it's kind of just annoying. But anyway, you summon the demon and he goes, oh yes, that old dude from the 1700s, he's possessing your friend. Yeah, the dude who founded this town. He's possessing your friend to try to unveil the secrets that the Necronomicon holds or something. So you realize, you and your friend's doctor, because his doctor's involved with this, go, we can't let that guy do anything. So your character goes to the jail or wherever your friend's the mental health facility place your friend's being held in, and just brings a gun and shoots him, and nothing happens. Like, oh yeah, you know, a psych ward, the place that's famous for letting you have your guns. It just, you know, the place that just casually lets you, oh yeah, you can just bring in your, you know, fully loaded revolver with the patient we think is trying to kill himself. Nothing's gonna go wrong with that. So anyway, after killing your friend, you then go to the library with your friend's doctor. The dad's pretty much out of the story at this point. It's your friend's doctor and you trying to crack this whole mystery. And you have to find a series of books, and in each book there's like a little hidden thing. And you can, like, you have to draw out this whole map and plot point where the secret thing the guy was looking for in this town was. So, of all things, the shape forms a Star of David. I don't know, I guess we're incorporating some of Lovecraft's, like, racism or something into this. What are we trying to say about the Jews here? That's just kind of wild and out there. So, you find this giant structure that also is shaped like a pentagram, kinda. And you have to do some weird puzzle, and that opens up a cavern to some underground cave system that eventually leads to a city. And you enter the city, and what do you know? Guess who's there? It's the dude from the 1800s. How? Doesn't explain. He's just there, and you're chasing after him. Why? Who knows? Doesn't explain it. The game doesn't care to tell you. And honestly, this game gave up so much legwork, I'm not going to do it either. So, you have to solve some more puzzles to chase after him. And when you finally confront him, what does the game do? It cuts to white, and your character just goes, yeah, I don't know what happened after that scene. The end. No, literally, I will play it right for you, just so you can see how bad of an ending this is.
How did I get myself out? I wouldn't be able to explain it to you. The sight so paralyzed my mind that I'm amazed that I still had my wits about me sufficiently to take the correct tunnel leading to the entrance in the hillside. It must have been pure instinct that guided me. It's probably just as well that I wasn't depending on reason.
I also gotta apologize for the audio mixing, but that is not me. That is just how the game is. That is just how it is in all dialogue. It's trying to hear over the audio of the loud music while your character mumbles into the microphone. Or I guess it'd be the voice actor. But either way, I can't do anything about that, because that's quite literally how that cutscene is recorded. But yeah, this game is just terrible. And again, the part that made it the biggest loser for me is that it showed so much progress. A friend of mine has like a saying where it's like, false hope is, I forget how it exactly goes, but it's something like false hope's one of the worst things you can do to somebody. And this game gave me false hope, because the atmosphere from the first act, which is what's playing now, is really good. What is this town? It's kind of mysterious. There's just people randomly about. It's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it looks like it's left behind in like the 1800s, despite it being in like the, I think, early 20th century. So it's just one of those where it just showed so much promise, and it didn't know what to do, and it crashed and burned at the end. So yeah, this game is taking home the Game of the Year Biggest Loser Award. I hope I don't play anything this bad for quite a while, and hopefully next year has some much stronger contenders. But with that, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. There will be more of these, because obviously I gotta name the actual Game of the Year winner. And also there's another section going over honorable mentions and games that I felt kind of mixed about. So those will be coming out sometime in the future. But for now, enjoy the biggest losers of 2024 for me. With that, I hope you all have a good day, and I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.